What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Joy of Living with Dr. Joy podcast. Today, we have a special guest, Olga Abinader, and she's going to talk about Matrix New World Engineering. Yes, woman in engineering, STEM. But until, you know what we do on the Joy of Living show. We're just not going to jump into it. We're going to take 3 deep breaths and then I'll turn it over to Olga. Okay, on my count, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, exhale. How do you feel? I know I feel great. So let's just jump right into it because I know Olga is very, very busy. Uh, Hi, Olga. Welcome to the
Hi,
Joy of Living with Dr. Joy.
thank you. Happy to be here.
Tell me a little bit about you. Tell me and the viewers and the listeners a little bit about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, thank you for having me today and for the opportunity to share my story. So, I am an immigrant from the Dominican Republic. And when my family decided to come to the United States from the Dominican Republic, I was 7 years old. It was an interesting and very daunting challenge for me and for us, just uprooting ourselves and coming into a new country, a new circumstance, and a new era. So for me, one of the things that really was most challenging for me was that I did not speak the language. I didn't speak English, and I wanted to really make an impact here. I wanted to come to the United States and really make my family proud. So one of the things that happened when we first came to the United States was that I told my father, and I remember this very well at JFK Airport, Papi, no sé hablar inglés.
Mm.
Dad, I don't know how to speak English. Essentially, how am I going to make it work here? And one of the things that he taught me at that moment was, Olga, we are a family of resilient fighters. We're going to make it work, and you're going to see that little by little, by just giving yourself one little goal that you accomplish at a time, you're going to learn how to speak English and you're going to be successful here. So, in many ways, that support of me setting goals and overcoming challenges and that message from my father really stuck. And it helped me become who I've become today, a mother, a professional, someone with an academic credential that I'm very proud of. And here I am.
Well, thank you, Olga. And our segment is very timely because just a few days ago, on September 15th, that's the start of Hispanic Heritage Month. So
Yes.
let's discuss the significance of this month-long celebration.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking that. So, for me, Hispanic Heritage Month is about celebrating all of the sacrifices and trade-offs that everyone from our background as diverse Latin community, did, and the sacrifices they had to make in order to give their families an opportunity at the American dream. So I love Hispanic Heritage Month. I think it really reminds me of where we come from, who we are, the fact that we should be celebrated and that our voices are unique and they really matter. So the fact that we're here together just talking about Hispanic Heritage Month, it's a great platform and it just makes me really happy. So thank you for asking.
So, Olga, why just 30 days? Do you have any?
Yeah.
And why in the middle of September to the middle of October?
Yeah, so just 30 days, I think it's not enough for me. Hispanic heritage is celebrated all year long. So I don't have the answer about the 30 days, but in essence, the September 15th to October 15th celebrates the Independence Day of multiple Latin nations across the board. So it was something that I was wondering as well. So it's really celebrating those Independence Days of multiple Latin countries.
Yeah, but there you go. That's the answer. So, as a female leader, because that you are,
Thank
at a
you.
national environmental engineering firm, and you could state what the engineering firm is in a minute. How do you empower more women to become involved in STEM?
Oh, absolutely. One of my favorite things. So the company is Matrix New World Engineering. And one of my goals as a leader in our company is really becoming visible as a Latina, as a woman, as a person of color, in a leadership position in a traditionally male dominated field. So
Right.
first of all, I believe that representation really matters. And one of the things that excites me is the opportunity to share my message, share my story, tell people, anyone who looks like us, who has our same journey, to understand that if I can accomplish what I've accomplished at this company, that others can too. So one of my goals is to celebrate STEM, convey my message, and use different platforms to reach out to those people who may or may not feel like really confident about going into a field where they don't feel represented.
So how does one, I mean, I'm a STEM person too, but
Yeah.
from way back when, I'm sure Amy probably told you how we actually were on campus together, but didn't know each other and didn't meet until a couple of years ago. But when I was undergraduate, I have 2 degrees in applied math and statistics, and that was
Amazing.
back in the early 80s. Yeah, people of color just did not go into engineering and those mathematical didn't take those mathematical courses. So for you, the question I have is how do you get more people involved in STEM?
I think the more people that see folks like yourself and like me getting involved, the more that they see that that's an opportunity that's available to them. Again,
Hmm.
representation matters. You see more people who look like us and who have our background working in the field, and that's going to attract those younger generations who are excited about a field. So
Right.
representation, it's really it. Being visible, being open, letting people know what our journeys are like, and then them seeing us is going to say, hey, if they can do it, so can we.
Right. And then what about the element of guidance?
Of guidance, yeah,
Yeah,
mentorship.
guidance, because in school, right? A lot
Mhm.
of times, the teachers, they may look at students and say that person is destined to be a doctor or a lawyer or an
Yeah.
engineer. So how do we get involved, and at what age do you think we should get involved with
Oh my
STEM
goodness.
activities?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a mother of two. I have a 6-year-old son. I have a 7-month-old daughter. So I think the younger, the better. If they're two, if they're three, you start introducing them into STEM related topic areas. You bring them to work. You expose them to what you do. And then again, that mentorship starts at a really young level.
Yeah.
And these children now who have these mentors and who have the opportunity to see us in these fields, to them it's not a matter of, oh, that's the field that's not for me, oh, that's a field that's for someone else. To them it's like, my mommy does this and therefore I can do it too. So
That-
mentorship is super important. It's important at a very, very young age, and I think the more we do it and the more it becomes second nature, the less and less we're going to have conversations about introducing people of color to STEM, introducing women to STEM. It's going to just be normal. At least
But
that's my.
how do you get that started? So
Yeah.
we're discussing leadership and mentorship, which I agree are two very important things. How
Mhm.
do we initiate it?
Oh,
And
okay. I
then
know.
bring the people in.
Yeah, well, some of us who are at mid-manager or leadership positions, we have access to those people in the companies or in the organizations that have decision-making power. So it's
Mhm.
up to us to raise our hand, to recommend what needs to happen in order for our communities to get more involved in that mentorship and bringing on those other generations, and really speak up. I think it's easy as asking the question, can we mentor? Can we offer opportunities to others who are interested? Can we start internship programs? Can we reach out at local schools? Can we, kind of explore this? And even just suggesting that recommendation, and if you have the right leadership structure, you'll be able to get it done and really get started with that mentorship program. And it's so important to raise your hand, step up, and volunteer.
But also have the support of C-suite people.
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
without that, if you're in a company where it's not your own company, but you're
Hmm.
an employee, that means you're working for someone else. In order for that program to be successful,
Hmm.
you have to have people at the senior leadership level that have an open mind.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I think it has to go both ways. Yes, they have to have an open mind. You have to work for the right company, the right team. But at the same time, how do you open their minds? How do you expose them to really thinking like you do if they don't necessarily come from the same background?
That's
So I
right.
think there's a responsibility on us, as some of the first breaking some of these barriers to
Mhm.
really initiate the conversation.
Right, right.
Mhm.
And also with the talk about DEI,
Oh, yes.
it dovetails right into it. And
Yes.
so to make sure that company is supported, is
Mhm.
supportive of those initiatives. So
Yeah.
you, Olga, have won many, many, many awards. So let's discuss how this type of recognition helps with your platform.
I mean, to me, it's just very humbling to have won awards and be recognized for just doing what I love and working with people, working in my field of urban planning and environmental consulting. To the fact that I've been recognized is really just a testament to my community, to my family, my mentors, and the support system that's really been there for me. So for me, it's humbling. It's helped me convey my message. It's helped me become more visible. And I hope that that little girl who's might be watching our show today is listening and saying, oh my gosh, look at this person. Look what they accomplished. I can do the same. So
So
that,
let's talk about your awards. What,
okay.
yeah, share.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that opportunity. So, the Crane's Notable Hispanic Leader of 2022, they select a small group of professionals who contributed to their field. I was selected as one of the awardees a couple of years ago. And it was really in celebration of my position at the New York City Department of City Planning and my tenure in public service for over a decade. So it was incredible to be receiving that kind of recognition and very, very humbling. That's one of the awards. uh,
Very good.
yes.
Outstanding.
And there have been other awards where I've been recognized as a leader and a mentor, specifically in my prior role in the public sector. I was really honored to receive one of the top leadership awards as a manager in the public sector. And I really made it a point to uplift others, give others the opportunity to really grow. And I think they rewarded me by nominating me for that award. And it just is something that will always be very near and dear to my heart. So I'll
Well,
mention those two for now.
well, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that. And, you know, I get the feeling that what you are doing is not really work. I mean, it's work, but you don't see it as that. You see this as your passion,
Oh, yes,
right?
absolutely. You are so right. You are so right. I mean, coming to the United States from a young age, I know that a lot of people helped my family really get established. And we had to learn as a young age, myself and my siblings, how to become problem solvers and doers. And just learning that has helped me really embark in my passion, which is problem solving, doing, helping and bringing together people to their passions. So it really feels like it doesn't work. You're absolutely right about that, Dr. Joy.
So let's talk about your role now at
Yeah.
Matrix New World Engineering.
Mhm.
How is Matrix changing the world and affecting the planet? So, what is
So,
your role? And then
yes.
answer the second question.
Okay, of course. So I am the director of environmental review in New York City, and I also have a focus on planning and helping our clients to navigate the very challenging regulatory processes of New York City government
Hmm.
as it relates to real estate development when they need a permit or approval. It's a mouthful.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah.
So, it's
Imagine
in the
having to
whole city?
navigate.
Like, is it like all five boroughs?
It's all five boroughs. And but in my prior role at the Department of City Planning, I led a team of up to 20 staff at the time that helped review and really make sure that applications that were submitted to the City Planning Commission were successful. So now, in terms of the role that I do, instead of working for the public sector, of course, I work for the private sector. So instead of helping approve applications and review them on the public side, we help our clients prepare the applications, submit those applications, and we help them navigate through the process.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not only overseeing the applications, but you're guiding the applicants so they can be successful and get what they want.
Absolutely, what they want and what they need.
What they need. So what has been your toughest project?
Oh, goodness. I mean, they're all unique. I think that one of the toughest projects I had when I was in the public sector was that I was in a position where I had to preside over public hearings. I had to also make sure that when we were presiding over those public hearings, that every voice was heard at these public hearings. So we would give everyone 3 minutes from the public, an opportunity to weigh in on a land use application that was subject to City Planning Commission approvals. So one of the challenges that I had was really trying to be fair in listening to all of the concerns of the community, and also being very thick-skinned, because sometimes it got very emotional. And the members of the community who knew that there was a new residential building that was going to be developed in their neighborhood wouldn't always feel really good about it. So sometimes I had to develop a thick skin, because I felt like there were a little bit of some animosity from the public. And I had to sit down, listen to their concerns, be kind of very stoic about it, and then make sure that we address every concern in a very diplomatic way and in the correct way in the process. So the challenge was being public facing and really internalizing, or trying not to internalize, a lot of sometimes the personal challenges and the personal comments that came at me from the public sector. But I developed a thick skin from that.
You develop, yeah, right.
Oh yeah, very.
I can only imagine. And anytime you're dealing with the public,
Yes,
everybody's gonna have their opinion,
they
right?
are, and they saw me as a woman of color, as someone who almost needed to be there with them fighting for their rights, and I felt very much like I needed to be on that side. So
Right.
sometimes there was a little bit of tension, them saying, well, you're a Latina, you understand what our plight is, why aren't you here fighting with us, why are you presiding over this bureaucratic process, and what's that about? So I think one of the challenges there was really navigating how to do my job, while also really understanding that there was a real emotional side that came to it. So that's
So
been tough.
how did you deal with that?
Yeah.
How did you remain stoic when
Yeah.
you were in front of the people that were throwing those questions at you?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard, especially at the beginning, and I had to kind of separate myself from that emotion.
Mhm.
But what I did was I first of all respected their moment. I allowed them to air out their concerns and be heard. So for me, it was really important that they felt heard. So I gave them their platform. And then after the fact, although I wasn't allowed because of the rules of the public hearing to really respond, I would come down from my podium and really try to connect with that same community and let them know, like, hey, we are all on the same side. We're here to help you understand what could happen in your community, and this is your opportunity to weigh in. So I would thank them. I would thank them for being vulnerable, for coming out, for expressing their concern, and I would remind them that we're on the same side. So that really helped me really accomplish what I wanted, and that was doing the job correctly, but also acknowledging where people were coming from. So yeah, very
Key.
tough.
That's key though. And
Yeah.
I know you do a lot of mentoring, but did somebody mentor you
Mhm.
and suggest that you include that action? Or maybe did you put yourself in their shoes?
I did. It was both. It was both. I mean, I had incredible mentors growing up, mainly women and women of color, who just were very zen and very very calm about what kind of volatile environment we were facing in New York City public sector.
Yeah.
So they mentored me, they coached me, and they also set the example. So just by following their lead, taking that deep breath, we started with deep breaths today, taking that deep breath and really allowing that other person to really, you know, express themselves. All of that I learned from my mentors. So that, and then, you know, just really going with the flow and putting myself in their shoes. And that still applies today and many other aspects of my career.
So is there anything else you would like to share on the joy of living with Dr. Joy right now before we close out?
Yeah, absolutely. There are a couple of things. First of all, I really love your message of wellness and of health is wealth. I think that's super important in every aspect of our lives. And I really subscribe to that. So thank you for sharing your message and providing that platform.
You're very welcome.
Absolutely. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that, you know, I work for a company of engineers and scientists and consultants. And one of the most important things that we want to do and we want to convey is that we're problem solvers. We're here to help our clients find a solution to their engineering problems. So we love what we do and we're here to help. So that is my message.
So how can people get in touch with you? Because you did mention internships. I know. It's kind of late in the year right now
That's okay.
in terms of the summer that just passed, but
Yes.
I'm sure you may have winterships or other internships, for spring and
Sure.
summer for 2025. So how would people be able to get in touch with you with
Mhm.
regards to those opportunities?
Absolutely. So there is a wealth of information available on our website. That's www.mnwe.com for Matrix New World Engineering. They can also find me on LinkedIn, Olga Abinader, Director of Environmental Review at Matrix. And I am open to any ideas if anyone would love to hear a little bit more about what we do and perhaps join our team.
So can you repeat that website one more time and just a little slower so people
Okay.
can get it?
Yes, www.mnwe.com.
Olga, thank you very much. This has been very, very, very informative.
Thank you.
And I wish you incredible continued success
Thank
in what
you.
you're doing on the private sector and also on the public sector and with Matrix New World Engineering. You are an inspiration. Thank you
Thank you, and
so much
likewise.
for sharing. Until next time, be blessed, stay healthy,